What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let's get down to the situation. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. I know you guys done heard the news that Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie Osefo was arrested last week for fraud charges. And this is crazy. Like, OMG, what is really going on? Because the way that, the court documents are, they're basically saying that they committed fraud, and they committed fraud really fraudulently, where they left a paper trail and where people or the insurance agents can find out it was fraud. Allegedly, like, this is crazy because Wendy got 4 degrees and Eddie's a lawyer. You wouldn't think they would have a paper trail or pictures of the alleged items being reported stolen, and then they're on social media with the items on, or it has been already returned to the store before the police report was even placed about their house being burglarized when they went on vacation in April of last year to Jamaica. Like, this is crazy. But in any event, Andy, he gets on his, podcast, and he basically just says that he don't even know, like, he don't know what to say. He's dumbfounded. He woke up and he heard the charges against Wendy and Eddie, and he's nothing that he can really say, because he's just shocked and mortified that this has happened, because he's really a fan of Wendy and her husband and what they represent as far as educational, a strong unit of a family, blase and a third. So in any event, OMG, like, I would never think that Wendy and Eddie will be getting arrested for fraud. You know what I mean? Because they're kind of smart, but maybe they just don't have common sense, or maybe, they're going to be found not guilty. But in any event, yes, they are out here facing charges, and it's no joke, because they could actually be facing 11 years, but I doubt that, for the crimes that they allegedly are being charged with, because, they probably plead out and things of that nature. But it says Wendy is actually facing 16 charges. She's 41 years old. Eddie Osefo's 41 years old as well. And these 16 charges include 7 for felony false misleading information in excess of $300 and up, or $300,000. Like, Lord have mercy. Like, that's a whole lot. Like, Wendy having a felony charge? Like, come on, not Miss Commentator, not Miss, only certain people can sit at the table, and you can't sit at the table. Okay? And Wendy was sitting at the table, but now she's finding out that you can sit at the table and be invited to the table. That don't mean that you belong at the table, or they even like you, because once they can get you in a bind, baby, it's going to be a public, execution when it comes to Wendy Osefo and the Attorney General and the police doing a press conference. That's crazy. So in any event, 8 misdemeanors on false misleading information in excess of $300, and also a misdemeanor charge of a false statement to an officer. And Eddie is facing 18 charges, including 9 for felony false misleading info fraud in excess of $300,000. Like, Lord have mercy, he got 18 charges, and 9 of the 18 charges are felony. Like, can he still practice as being an attorney? Could we hire a felon to be an attorney? Like, Lord have mercy. Like, all that education, and it ends like this. Like, are the Osefo's gonna go out like this as criminals? Like, this is crazy because of what they did stand for with education. John Hopkinton, and being a professor there, being a CNN commentator, Eddie being a lawyer, and having a family and the values, and then we get a mugshot of them. Like, this is real crazy. And in any event, when it comes to Eddie, so he's facing a lot of charges, and this is crazy. In any event, it's alleged that the burglary went down about April 7th, 2024. Wendy, claims that designer bags and jewelry was stolen and things of that nature when they went to Jamaica. And also handbags, designer jewelry was, taken. But when it comes to the police and when it comes to the charges and the insurance company, they're basically saying there's a problem with them filing, these claims of robbery and losing jewelry and losing handbags and things of that nature. Because in any event, they're saying problem number one is that Wendy and her husband said before they left for Jamaica, they activated their ADT system, their alarm system. And so once they left, they're basically saying that they didn't get no alerts. There was no alerts that someone came in their house that broke in. The alarm system did not go off. They did have a Ring camera. The Ring camera was on, and it did, see people, delivering packages and dropping off of packages and things of that nature. But in any event, it was like, well, if something was stolen and somebody broke into your house and it was a robbery, why didn't your alarm system go off? Maybe the person cut the wires. Is there any proof of the wires being cut? Maybe they got in undetected. Maybe Wendy and her husband forgot to put on an alarm system. I don't know. But in any event, this is a whole crazy situation. And they're also saying problem number two is when Eddie was being interviewed and he was giving information to the authorities and the insurance companies that, he was asked has any of the jewelry or the handbags been returned, to the store? Are they somewhere else? Things of that nature. Just basically trying to find out if, maybe they misplaced it and they returned the jewelry, or they gave the jewelry back to the company. And Eddie said no, he denied, returning any of the jewelry, that was basically on a police report for the robbery, that he didn't return any of it. That whatever was on the robbery report of their jewels being snatched, that's what was snatched. Okay, that's what Eddie was saying. But then the insurance company is saying they traced back and they went back to the jewelry store and they found out that allegedly some of the jewelry that is put on a police report as being stolen and them being without it was returned weeks prior to the robbery. And Eddie and Wendy Osefo ends up receiving a full reimbursement or payment. So they exchanged the merchandise back to the company and then they got cash back. So now they're saying like, now you putting, you double dipping now. You already returned the jewelry, got your money for it, but now you're putting it on a report, a police report and an insurance claim that it has been taken, that it's not there. So that it has been taken. So that whole situation is crazy. Like, And it also could be a mistake with Wendy. Maybe the alleged robbery that happened, that went down, that Eddie and Wendy was shaking up and they just couldn't use their brains to figure out that, they had returned some of the merchandise that they had put on, the insurance claims, two insurance claims as well. There was supposed to be one insurance claim, but they end up double dipping and claiming again. Allegedly, this is what they're saying these charges are coming from, because it was fraud, like OMG. But in any event, when Eddie was being interviewed, he was asked by Homesite and jewelers, was he filing any other insurance claim when he talked to them? And he says no, he's only filing this one claim. But they end up finding out allegedly that when it comes to Eddie, he found another claim with Travelers Insurance while, using that Travelers Insurance when they went to Jamaica. So therefore they're saying like, oh, something's fishy. And it seems like, they were on to them, and insurance companies do not like to pay. But in any event, they claim that when it comes to Wendy and Eddie Osefo, that they said the loss of property was $450,000. And Eddie had also allegedly contracted Travelers to update them on Wendy's diamond anniversary ring being missing, and basically to say, oh, we found out there's still other jewelry that is missing, we just found out, or whatever the case. So he added that onto it. And then it's been alleged that Wendy Osefo was wearing her diamond anniversary ring after the insurance claim and a police report had been placed, because it was reported to the insurance company by an attorney that they seen Wendy wearing her anniversary ring. Like that, they reported that was missing. This is allegedly. Like, OMG, Wendy and her husband Eddie cannot be this. They got brains, right? Like, come on. You don't wear the jewelry that you report stolen at all. You know what I mean? You got to wait to, statute of limitation has passed, or you get rid of it, period. Or it's going to be like a museum. You just only can look at it. You can't wear it. Like, what is happening? Like, what is going on in this whole situation? And then, it makes no sense to put on a report. Yeah, this is a whole crazy situation when it comes to Wendy Osefo and Eddie. Like, OMG, I just thought that they was a little bit better than that. Or if they was going to commit a crime, they was going to be a lot smarter. But hopefully they are found not guilty. But in any event, one of the insurance company, when it comes to travelers, claim that a lawyer saw Wendy with the ring on when it was supposed to be stolen. Like, OMG, you just can't, like, what? And also the insurance company is stating that they started to do investigation in Wendy and Eddie because they found out that they had massive debt. And of course they're going to have massive debt because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're trying to keep up appearances. They're trying to keep up this. They're trying to keep up that. They're trying to, look like they fit in, like they are wealthy. They're this. Sometimes you got to fake it until you make it. But at the same time, if you're going to fake it until you make it, don't commit no insurance claims. And then on top of that, be out here in public with the diamond on, with your ring on, with the jewelry on. And then on top of that, ain't nobody breaking the house. Could have been a false break-in. The alarm could have went off. Blasing. I don't know. But in any event, like, this is bad. So hopefully Wendy Osefo and her husband don't go out like this, where they are going to be only recognized for fraud, insurance fraud. And I know the Nigerian community is in an uproar, like, come on. But in any event, when it comes to Eddie and Wendy Osefo, they show up in court November 7th. So we shall see how that whole situation is going to pan out. And also the insurance company and, the authorities are also claiming that Wendy was photoed April 27, 2024 with that anniversary engagement ring on. So they're just saying we got pictures for days, with the jewelry that they alleged was stolen from their house in a robbery. They have been parading around town with it. That's rule number one. You never do that. Okay? So, if found guilty, they can face a maximum of 15 years, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, you guys let me know what you think about this situation.